Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video we are going to cover the August releases for Dystopian Wars, and the first big news is that it is only news for Dystopian Wars. We will not have Armored Clash yet, at least not for August, so it means it will be released in September at the earliest. That is a little bit surprising. To be honest, like the war hosts had been warned a little bit in advance, but yeah, it means like probably end of September. It's gonna be Armored Clash. I guess end of September because they said it will be summer, and it's, September is already quite a stretch. But we will see how it works. Well, it depends. It's a stretch. It depends how you count summer or not. Some countries, summer ends on the 1st of September, and some countries on 22nd. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's focus for a second on the release. No, actually, there are two releases. There is a little surprise release at the end, but the main release is going to be for the Covenant of the Enlightened, and it's the Xenophon Battlefleet set. Quite happy with this release. Like at some point, like there are so many Covenant release in the last few months. Like there's been, of course, the Kione, we remember, then the Aronax that goes with it, and we have another fleet that apparently will have rules for being a submarine ambush, and that starts to give like an extreme focus for the Covenant for like teleporting like early alpha strikes in the game. The Kion could do these, the Aronex as well, and apparently from the fluff text that we have for the Xenophon can do it as well. Why am I very happy with the Xenophon though? It's because it's finally a battleship, a battle cruiser for the Covenant. No funky rule of generator bubble, sending whale tokens, repairing stuff, teleporting, whatever. No, apparently it's going to be a ship that you pay and you get quite some weapons, good stats. We hope it will not be very expensive, or it will have some funky rules. Even the Warhost did not have rules yet, but apparently it's going to be just that, just a frontline battle cruiser. And that's already gonna be great because the Covenant really was missing this, except the Hypatia, which was not meant to be charging down like as a battleship, or the Descartes, absolutely not. Like, we didn't have, like for the Covenant, a battleship that is a flagship as well. We had so many funky things, and finally we have something that is a little bit basic. As you can see, we also have some dices. We will talk about it in the end, if we recommend it to buy it or not, but I have quite a strong opinion on this. So yeah, it's going to be released end of August. So the Xenophon Battlefleet set is going to be quite simple, but we like simple, don't we? It's going to be the two frontline sprues, the Xenophon itself, and there are a few variants. We'll talk about them in a second. There's also going to be two of those, what's the name, SRS tokens that allow you to deploy some aircraft, because two things. There is a variant of the Xenophon which allows you to send SRS tokens, okay. And finally, we have these MES1 Merian conversions, which is the ammo. I know many people already converted it with extra bits, but now you finally have the official version, which is resin bits, actually. And you can transform your frigates into little MES1 aircraft carriers that can send one SRS token per frigate. But still, like if you like, it's MES1, so it's going to be very annoying to deal with it, because well, you need to dedicate way too much firepower. Usually you deal with aircraft carriers either with railguns like all the way from the other side of the map, or by sending, I don't know, a giant robot to punch it if it's a giant aircraft carrier. If you have like 6 or 8 of those little frigates, how do you deal with them? They're going to be obscured because they're MES1s. They're going to be annoying in range of each other for boosting ADV. Like, you cannot really send SRS tokens either, because again, do you split, but then everybody gets shot by ADV and you're not sure, like your dice may break, like in the sense you might be unlucky. Like, it's very annoying to deal with MES1 aircraft carriers for sure. It's like, I don't know how you would do that. But that's the MES1. You can build them still as Merian, of course, if you would like that. But I think Covenant players already have way too many Merian frigates. The one option I would recommend, we will of course make a detailed what to build video of this when we make the unboxing, but I would recommend Merian, especially if this is your first purchase after the starter set, because this, I think, will complement very well the Covenant starter set, which has a Descartes, which is basically an aircraft carrier, if I sum it up. And this complement will allow you to have a strong front line with the added Lovelaces and stuff, and also a battleship. while your decard stays in the back. So in this sense, maybe yes. We will need to see though, wait and see for the ammo, because maybe it's gonna be like the escort automatas frigates that the Kion had, in the sense that you get them for free if you buy the, for example, the Love aircraft carrier version of the Xenophon. If it is the case, well then great, but then it changes everything. Let's wait for the rules, but this is still a tip. We will give the real tips for the unboxing. As we've said, I will start with this. You have two cruisers. Loveless, always good. If you don't have enough Covenant players, I would recommend to always have 2 or 3 of those. They are such reliable workhorses. They always do what you need them to do. Also very good, but kind of different, is the Copernicus. Copernicus are good battleship. They have forward-facing firepower, which is very good for those guys. You keep them mid-range, and they shoot very well with their main big gun, which should be a heavy particle cannon, but you have other variants as well. Probably going to be the updated sprues, so you will have all the variants of the weapons. The Stiletto, very fast, not so great. Ulysses, I'm not a big fan of of those aircraft carriers. The Covenant has so many ways to send SRS tokens. You don't need to buy either a Châtelet, even though I love that it's called a Châtelet because I live in Paris, so of course I like this name, or hate it actually. The Ulysses either is not so great. You have other sources of carriers later on. And finally the Antarctica, always Covenant player. If you don't have an Antarctica, build one right now and keep it in your collection, because there is a named Antarctica, which is the Belgica, which has been playing yo-yo in rules. It used to be terrible, then it was OP, then it was better again. Like, they try to find a way to make it interesting, because it's a very expensive cruiser, but now it does so much. It's actually not the configuration. This is not the right, the legal configuration for the Belgica, because it has different weapons. All 3 weapons are changed. And yeah, basically keep at least one of the ship fully modulable, like not glued, so you can switch, and when you want it, you can have the Belgica itself. Now let's take a deeper look at the Xenophon himself and the different variants. The first thing that I will say is that, first of all, I'm very happy that the Xenophon looks like a normal frontline ship, but bigger. This is really something that had been missing for the Covenant. There are 2 versions that seem very easy to magnetize, which is the Xenophon and the Love, maybe. If you know how to pronounce it, this Polish name, I guess, let us know how to pronounce it. And yeah, basically the Xenophon is probably going to be a cheapish battle cruiser with 3 main guns and torpedoes, maybe a better generator, like a better shield generator. I'm hoping, because that's how I want to play it. But yeah, we'll see how it plays. And the Love probably is going to be a support carrier. We can see that he has this little antenna that will probably mean that it can transform it, like see ships better around himself and remove obscured. That would be sorry, that would be very meh, because it's a carrier, probably support carrier, so it doesn't want to be near. Would be much better if it, for example, gives maritime patrol, which means that nothing, no giant robot, nothing can come and teleport, like spawn within 10 inches of your carrier, of the Love. If it is this, then it would have a real purpose, and I would love it. We will have to wait and see. If it has logistical support, I mean, I'm fine with that. If it's just a carrier with SRS 4, or that would be terrible, or SRS 6 with 1 weapon, okay, fine. If it's very cheap, like I don't know, 180 or something, you can keep it all the way to the back, shoot a little bit with the particle beamer, which shoots good at long range, and then send, for example, 6 SRS token. That would be fine. But it really needs, I think, some rules such as maritime patrol, or logistical support, or Fortunes of War, let's get crazy, to really make it interesting compared to, for example, the Xenophon, which is going to have so much more firepower. I mean, the Covenant really does not miss ways to get more SRS token. It probably has the most SRS of the entire game. Only the Alliance has good carriers, very good carriers that can rival, but the Covenant just has SRS everywhere. It has the Icarus with SRS 10, the Thule with SRS 12, the new ammo frigates which can send SRS, the Châtelet, the Ulysse, the Flying Saucer, which has Mass 1 carriers as well. Like, I mean, you have so many ways to send SRS in this faction. Luckily, they don't get any access to weight of fire because of that special rule, but they're hard to intercept. So you can really get 60 plus SRS tokens in this faction, which is not very fun to play against, probably not very fun to play with, so I would not recommend it. But yeah, if the Loef is just a carrier, no thank you. If it has some funky rules, yes thank you, basically. The third variant might be much harder to magnetize. It is the Kepler, and as you can see, it replaces the middle particle beamer with a heavy particle cannon. Probably is going to be all the ways to mix it, replace the particle beamers and the heavy particle cannon with the other Covenant weapons. The thing that makes me a bit sad is that if I zoom a little bit on everything, you can see that it's very easy between the Love and the Xenophon to mix right here where there is my mouse, but the Kepler is very different. Not only the bridge is there, and you can see that the main cannon is in the rear, but also this part in the middle here changed. Like you can see, it really changes a lot, and you cannot just say like whatever, I will put one weapon in the other, because no, the particle beamer is on this type of gun, and I hope it's not etheric lenses, it would be terrible. And the heavy particle cannon is on large, like a very large base. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult to magnetize. Do subscribe to Top Secret Painting, our friend that makes videos in French but with English subtitles. That shows how to paint miniatures, how to magnetize them. There are some very good tutorials on French and Russians already, and I will probably send him the Xenophon Battlefleet set, because I probably will start a little Covenant fleet again, even though we have now Avner, our local like pure Covenant player. But I mean, look at this. I want to play finally Covenant like futuristic ships that teleport with shields, but don't have so many funky rules sending, I don't know, whales and stuff. I just want a good frontline battlecruiser, and that's what I get with the Xenophon or with the Kepler. Again, we need to see the special rules that they might have. We'll have to wait and see, but just the appearance, like, I mean, look at this. Like, the Xenophon is fine, looks like a normal ship, but look at this thing with a cannon on the rear. It looks so futuristic. It's exactly how I imagine the Covenant, not the Kion, and which looks great. Like, I mean, I love the Kion, very interesting steampunk style. Not the Avonax, which I'm not a huge fan of their style personally. I don't like giant worms. And this is exactly like, looks so modern, so like it looks like a stealth ship. Maybe it has gonna be permanently obscured. By the way, it makes me think like this could be a very good defensive rule on top of entropic generators and shield, etc. Just always obscured, and you can use your shield on top of it. That could be fun. We'll have to wait for the rules, but yeah, very excited about those. Of course, again, when we make the unboxing, then I will make the same video as the unboxing, what to build, so you know exactly the rules and how to build all of those miniatures. And the second release, which quite happy that they start to sell more of those little boxes, not because I need, but because it means probably there is a demand and that people are requesting it, and it means that the game is selling well, which I'm happy. Like, more Dystopian Wars players, the better. I see more and more people on the Facebook, the Dystopian, like the Discord, etc. Which makes me very happy and makes me think that I always forget, but we have, by the way, on Love and Wargames, a Discord channel, like a real Discord for Love and Wargames, where we talk about Dystopian Wars, Conquest, War Machine, Full Spectrum Dominance, which you will see like a little side game that is so fun if you have 45 minutes to play. Lots of things that we're covering. We also play video games with the community and stuff. We play StarCraft, Total War, Warhammer, all these kind of things. So if you are interested, do have a look at the description below. It's the first time I say it, and I will try to remember and to say it at the beginning of each video. Anyway, I see more and more players going on the Discord and Facebook, etc. of Dystopian Wars, which means there is a demand for more stuff, and apparently people are asking for dices. I don't know who, because in our community we have so many dices. We basically give a huge bag of dice at anybody that is interested in Dystopian War, because we have all the starters and everything that we buy a few times over, and thus every time we have tons of dices. We don't know what to do with them anymore. If you're in Paris and want some dices, let us know. We'll send you dices. Otherwise, this, depending on the prices, could be very good for people that are like, oh, I like this. For example, I like the Vauban Battlefleet set. We heard this quite a while. I like the Vauban Battlefleet set, but I don't have the cards. I can buy a few things, but I want some dices. This, if it's cheap, it could be a nice little like 5 euros or 10 euros add to your basket, and then getting it as well as soon as you buy one massive box, such as the Minerva, the Enterprise, like these kind of massive boxes. if you want to start the game with those, and they're usually quite good for that, this could be a very good complement, so you can start rolling. Cards are not even that important, and you can get them with the movement tools and everything, but the dice, I mean, if you don't have dice, you cannot play the game. You cannot play with a basic d6, or it would be a little bit difficult. You would need to convert each phase to something else, but again, really depending on the price, if this will be interesting or not, for new players specifically that don't want to buy the starter. It happens, especially with the massive boxes, but I hope it's not gonna be something like 20 euros, cannot be, but even 15 would be a very tough sell. Like, I hope it's not more than 10. We'll have to see how much it costs. And yeah, that is going to be it for the releases of August. Only the massive and beautiful Xenophon Battle Fleet set. Very happy that it looks like a big angry Lovelace. Like, this is really the thing that was missing with the Covenant. You know that Valentin Avner is now our Covenant guy in the channel, but we're making more and more battle reports of Dystopian Wars. There is one that will be released probably this week. Yeah, probably by the end of the week, this weekend. And yeah, I stopped Covenant. He has all my Covenant forces, but when I see, for example, this Xenophon, I'm like, it looks so good. Maybe I will plunge again with their Covenant, because their gameplay is much more streamlined and it's more into what I like. And let us know if you like the Covenant or were a bit afraid from them before, and seeing how the rules are simplified since the latest Orvat, and seeing how they give more basic ships such as the Xenophon. Does it make you want to play Covenant once again? Let us know in the comments. And also, as always, you know this by now, but if you leave a comment, you get a ticket. You can win a Covenant, actually, Armada, or a Union Armada as well. And yeah, it's always good. So this would be a good complement for the Covenant Armada that you might win, and that I will send to your home if you just give us a little comment. And also subscribe, and ask your friends to subscribe and everything, because as soon as we reach 1500, and we are like 1320, 1330, something like this, so quite close, as soon as we reach 1500, we will make a live that will announce, like, we will make a little poll live to know who is going to be the winner of each of those fleets, and we'll right away ask the people in the live, like, what next do you want for the next game that we will make. Okay, thank you very much for having watched until the end. I will, again, put in the description the link to the Discord of Love and Wargames. It's mostly a French community for now. We have a few people English-speaking, even from different countries, etc. We're trying to build more the English community, because it was not announced. It was only announced with people that we know in real life. So, of course, there's mostly French, but there are some English spoken areas. So feel free to join, and join us when we make some group sessions of playing video games. If you have video games you would like to join and offer, of course you're welcome. And if you would like to talk about all the games that we cover on Love and Wargames, of course you are very welcome here. And we can also talk about the scenarios for the next battle report, etc., that you can influence. So link in the description. Thank you very much. Until the next video, take care of yourself, and remember to keep things fair in Love and Wargames. Bye.